Yo, can everyone hear me? Everyone let me know if the audio sounds good. Hope everyone is having a very good start of the week. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Shout out to Yelena and Otaku Gamer, Horace, and Alexi. What's up, y'all? Okay, so we are going to be going over the Bitcoin price action over the last weekend. And we're also going to be going over some altcoins afterwards. Specifically, we're going to go over XRP and Ethereum and ARB. So, all right, let's just go ahead and jump on in. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and update my own analysis. I've already got it on Bitcoin, so I'll just need to do some updating on that, but I'll probably have to do some fresh TA for XRP and Ethereum, and then ARB, I'll just need to update it, although I haven't traded it in about a week. Um, but yeah, I mainly want to focus on not necessarily doing technical analysis or trying to teach anyone how to do that, but more so focus on the indicator and how I read it and look for trades at levels and how I know which ones I'd like to hold on to, which ones I'd like to pull the most profit out of quicker. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump on in. So first thing I like to do when I start is go to the weekly time frame and get on the high time frame levels and see if we have any new weeklies. Let's see. No new weeklies to take note of. Any monthlies? No new monthlies. Let's go to dailies. And I'm just gonna kind of move through these quickly. Nothing new to note on the dailies. I think I'll probably mark this one though and just leave it as tapped just to let myself know that this is a possible retest of that previous daily. I took this one off just because it's been hit so many times. All right, and then after that, I'm going to move on to any key levels or support and resistance. Go back down to a lower time frame. First thing, man, look at this one. Like this one has been really, really nice. I think it's safe to go ahead and remove that, but man, 1, 2, 3 trades. I guess this one was maybe technically more of an SFP. I did I did miss this one. I saw the day trade signal showing. I remember I was talking to some people in the chat. I did not expect this to happen. I did not expect it to come up and drop so drastically. I was looking for like one final push through with some divergence, but lo and behold, that did not happen, and I missed that one. So all good. Let's go ahead and remove this though. This, I mean, I'm not sure if this really would be a valid level anymore, even though it looks like it could have been. I mean, that could have also been maybe like a point of control of this range, so we're going to take that one off. Going to remove that monthly VWAP down here. That has already been hit. And let's see. Any SR levels that I would be aware of? I mean, personally, this one, maybe. Like, I'm just going to put this one on and see if I can find any confluence later with this. I like these types of levels because, you know, we came up, put in a high, found support here for some reason. I'm not exactly sure what it was. Maybe like SFP of this low, but this was support. And so therefore it would make sense to find resistance there if we come back up. So we're going to head and mark that one out. Maybe like see any CME gaps. Let's see if we can find one. Or is it this one? I think it's this one. Ooh, what is that? Ooh, what is that doing? That doesn't look very good. I think it would be up here, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, somebody let me know in the chat. I don't know what's up with that other one. Usually I use the other one. Why does it look like that though? Weird. Also, let me turn on the chat, make sure I'm not missing anything. Cool. Not missing anything. Okay, let's turn the CME off. And that looks pretty good. I should already have all of the levels marked out to the downside that I want to be aware of. Actually, maybe also we'll keep this first low that got put in down here. I like to just be aware of like the first area that we found resistance at down at this low. Just going to keep that just in case. Okay, moving on to volume and ranges. So we're going to go down to a lower time frame, like the 12-minute. This got taken on that first sweep. We're going to remove that. We've got this range point of control to be aware of. Not going to focus on any of the volume here in this range. And the reason behind that is simply because it's already been mitigated. So all of the traders that had positions, let me show you this. So look at this point of control. That's a big point of control for this range. And in fact, it's probably the most volume that was traded on this entire rundown, right? It is. So I actually would not even really be considering this level. And the reason is because all that volume was traded in this zone right here. So it's like, okay, if we come back up to this point of control, like how many traders are really going to be, how many longs are underwater here at this level that weren't underwater here, that didn't close their positions already? So I look at this point of control as already mitigated and not something that I'm going to really focus on. So I like focusing on these types of points of control. Maybe not this one. This one looks like it doesn't have much, but these types of points of control where it has been mitigated yet. So same thing goes for here. All this volume, all of the longs that took a long position here have been underwater. They are desperately looking to get out of their positions, and that's what they most likely will do and cause a reaction once we come back up. So, okay, let's see what kind of volume we have down in this range. I'm going to turn off the indicator while we're doing analysis. Really nice trade right here. I did not catch that one this morning, but I did see that we did have a scalp signal at this level. We'll turn that on later, but I'll just mark it. But I did see that scalp signal show up this morning. All right, that looks pretty good. Let me just turn on a higher time frame. Let me see what kind of volume we have below us, just to refresh myself and be more aware. I like this volume down here. I honestly would like to come down further. I mean, I just feel like we have some unfinished business down here. All of the traders that got in at this range, or maybe also this low down here, that would be very nice to come and sweep that. So, I mean, I'm trying not to be biased. Like, I like to be neutral, but it would be nice to come down and mitigate some more levels before making another run up. But because aside from that, it's like once we get past this little range right here and these lows, ooh, I mean, there's just not much to hold on to, you know? Not much support and resistance after that. It's just a straight shot. So that could be pretty nasty if we get through there. But all right, moving on. Actually, let me also be aware uh, of this value area low. That's going to be important to take note of this range. So let me mark that out. Boom, value area low. Maybe also this value area low. I don't like to put too many levels, but this wouldn't be the worst value area low to look at either of this range. So I'm just going to put this one as well. And then if it looks too messy, I'll just delete some levels later. But we're going to put that one and move on to SFPs or liquidity. Where's that? And then this is going to go into ranges. Boom. All right. Okay, SFPs. Let's see what we've got. We need to just move this one down to that low. So any of the traders who have been opening long positions here should have their stop under this low, or also one to be aware of is definitely this low right here. I don't have any, I didn't have any open positions here, but it would make sense for anyone who opened along here to have their stop loss at least here or below the ultimate low. So we're going to mark out this one as well. And I mean, shoot, you could make a case that say everyone that has longed in this entire range is likely going to have a stop right here. So yeah, we're definitely going to be aware of that. All right, moving on. Well, actually, let me mark up here. So any shorts are going to have their stop. I would say this high for sure. I like this high better than this one, simply just because we have more time after the fact, you know, more short positions that would have stops above this high than I believe than would have above this high. It's just been kind of like a straight shot down from here. So, okay, moving on to Fibonacci's. Let's see. I need to do some updating. Go higher. Okay, let me just get these close. I'm kind of more of a perfectionist when it comes to the Fibonacci's. Like, I think Boyan's like that too, where he likes to have it locked on perfectly. But Jay is more of like a fluid Fibonaccier, which I've always found kind of funny. Like that dude will draw some golden pockets from anywhere. Also kind of inclined to maybe include this one. I don't like that one is right before that SFP right here. Not my favorite, but I'm just going to keep this one marked. And then for the bigger ones, I don't really mess with the 382, but I like to sometimes keep it on like the longer runs if I see some more confluence, which I really don't. So I mostly just do the 0.5 and the 786. So I like those on the longer ones. I'll do that on this one as well. 0.5, 786. Okay, that looks good. Also to be aware of, it looks like we just slightly front ran that 0.5. There's another level down there. I know we hit the monthly VWAP, but I think there's another one down there I'm not thinking of right now. Maybe it's a single print from right here. But it looks like we slightly front ran that 0.5, so I'll just keep that on there. Also aware, I really, really like this level down here, this SFP, and that 618 would be super nice right there. Boom. Oh man, that would be that could be a really nice trade. But okay, gonna move on. I think we've got all of that already marked out. I sometimes use previous day values, although I'll admit like they're not my favorite. I just I feel like personally it just kind of clutters my analysis, so I don't really use them that much. I used to use a lot of these logarithmic channels. So you'll notice that I typically always have log mode on. I like to be aware of them, especially I call them I call them zero channels. Like basically it's just the top and the bottom. But that is actually interesting. Like in log mode, we've got this trend line coming in, or you could call it a channel or also just a trend line, but we've got this trend line coming in. Also something to be aware of. Ooh, this looks nice. So I really, really like logarithmic channel golden pockets. They work pretty dang good sometimes, not all the time, but you can find some pretty nice trades in these golden pocket zones. I have seen like the macro golden pockets in log mode, just something to be aware of, my 2 cents. But yeah, I'm just going to be aware of that down here. And now what I'm going to do is zoom in and turn everything on and see if I can find some confluence with some levels and just have them marked out. Okay, we already came down and hit the golden pocket on this run up. Let's see if we can get a 786 down here though. Also, let me look at I'll look at the chat here in a sec. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, so we do have a 786 down there, and that looks nice because remember that SFP that we talked about down here? There's going to be stops down there. Also, the value area low. So definitely going to be aware of this zone right here, and I'll show you guys how I mark out zones. I call them hot boxes. Okay, got the value area low noted. I'm going to take off the golden pocket since it's already been hit, but I like that 786. And yeah, looks good. I like it. So, okay, now what I do is I turn on these things. I like to just use like white boxes. And I'm going to mark out zones that look good to me. Zones that I want to be aware of a potential trade coming up. So this one could be more of like this one could be very nice. Tap back into this value area low and reject. This one looks like almost kind of want to consider this as two trades. I would personally be looking at it as two trades. Like there's going to be the SFP, which is going to be a quick one. You know, it's going to come up, it's going to take all those stops, and it's going to get out of there quick. And if it comes up and takes the stops and then keeps going, I mean, I'll be a little bit more cautious, but I like to look at these as two potential trades. So got a little zone right here. Also another zone up here in this point of control. Let's see if I can get this. Also a zone in this point of control back into the macro value area low and all the way up into this Fibonacci 618. So Yeah, that's probably good for right now. I'm not gonna like mark everything, but actually the last one I'll do is this one, this SFP into the 0.5 is maybe like a final dagger, if we're gonna be bullish, maybe one final shot just to absolutely wreck everyone, and then who knows, maybe we shoot up like a rocket after that. Who knows? Also have a single print down here that I'm aware of. Not really any confluence down there, but it's always good to be aware of the single prints. Let's see if I can see where that channel, that golden pocket channel is coming in. So here's that zero logarithmic trend line that I was talking about. Nice to be at least aware of it. Sometimes you see them get hit like on the dot. Sometimes you see them just kind of become a zone where it will come under it and then reclaim it eventually. But yeah, definitely just going to be aware of those. All right, moving on. Let's go ahead, and we've got our zones marked out. So now what we're going to do is now we're going to go to the indicator. And we are going to go over what has already happened, and we are going to see what we can see. So first thing I like to do is go to a higher time frame, and I will turn the indicator on, and we're going to be looking at swing trades. So I always like to get like a bigger picture of where we're at in terms of like a macro perspective. I said it in the last stream, and that is that it's just good to zoom out and go back to previous runs, like previous bull runs, or I'm sorry, well, I don't know if you call this a bull run, but previous bullish price action, like macro bullish price action, where you can get a good picture of what it had happened in the past. And typically you will see when these trends end. Okay, let's look at this in bullish first of all. Typically when these trends end, you will start to see the long signals getting pushed out, okay? And honestly, it does typically look like this. Like look at all of these signals that are showing up. Like they're not working anymore. I mean, they are, like you're getting great trades out of them, but they're not like this down here where you're hitting them and putting in a new all-time high. Now you're hitting them and putting in lows. So it's like you see that shift, right? And that shift was really confirmed right here, okay? Really once this low, I mean, like this nice low with that SFP, if this is going to keep bullish like this, I mean, we should have taken that low. Or I'm sorry, we should have taken that high again. And the fact that we didn't was really my clue. I actually switched from bullish into range mode, and I talked about this in the first stream. I switched to range mode because range mode caught this high. All right, I was kind of playing around with different settings, like, it's good to have different scenarios. So it's like, okay, thinking as a trader, like right here, like it's not going to be bullish forever, right? So as a trader, at some point you need to consider like maybe price action could shift the other way. And also a good reason to do that was that we had a divergence up here. So these divergences, I mean, they're very powerful. So you can see them. I can see a number of them. One right here, one right here, one right here, a really good one right here. And then this is just more of like a failed divergence where it just didn't end up working out, but you will 9 times out of 10, you will see a divergence like this at a significant high. Whether we're going to come back and reclaim this in the future, how long that will take, no one can say. But yeah, seeing this, a divergence, you should just always be on your toes. Like, okay, was this the one? Is this the one that's going to reverse us? And then you want to be looking in an alternate mode, like, okay, maybe let's see what we see in ranging mode or bearish mode and see if we can find a high just to hedge ourselves, you know? So be at least a hedge against this long right here. So taking profit, hedging short, and taking profit both ways. But yeah, definitely confirmed like a trend shift once we lost that low with another signal, and also taking note that it's thicker. So nice thin signal, thicker signal. That typically means there's more downside. So we did get that downside, got a really nice SFP there. The market maker came down, and I really struggle holding these trades, like this one right here, like where they come down and just don't SFP the low, where they come down and front run it. Like those are super, super frustrating for me. But lo and behold, all right, so it's getting thicker. Prices, the signals are getting thicker. We come up, put in a high here for a swing short, and it's just these range signals have just been working so well. Like, why change it? You know, there's that saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So it ain't broke. We're not going to fix it until the market tells us that we need to change. So, all right, first of all, a very important thing to note is that we have put in a bullish divergence on the swing trades. And it's not just Bitcoin. There is other assets as well that we've put in bullish divergences. I was actually looking at INJ yesterday. I think Yelena brought it up to me. I wasn't watching it live, but she asked me to look at it, and I went and checked it out. And yeah, we've got a bullish divergence on INJ, and there's some other ones as well. So we're going to be going over other altcoins, but that's another thing that's really cool that I really love about the indicator is that you can look at many assets at once, like, you know, to see if you see confluence with the indicator. Like, okay, if we're seeing some swing signals on Bitcoin, swing signals on Ethereum, you know, I like to really focus on the big ones like XRP, like the ones with the most market cap, and also Doge. You know, Doge has a big market cap, even though I know most people don't trade it for whatever reason. But yeah, looking at those coins and looking for confluence. And one thing I really like to do is to take, I have a really big monitor, or I have 3 monitors, but I like to come and split it up into multiple screens, I guess is what you would say, and then put a different asset on each one, and then make sure that they're all synced on the right time frame. And I turn off all of my analysis for each of them. But what you can do is I would just like focus on maybe Bitcoin, and you could keep them in auto mode. Auto mode would be maybe the best thing to do for all of them, or you could go through each one and make sure they're in the correct setting. But really just for like a macro picture, but you can get on one and you can get your settings like you want on the main one, and then you can right click it and hit apply these indicators to the entire layout. And what it will do is it will copy your settings over from the first one, including the 9s, including the 9 settings, like whatever bias you have on these types of trades, you can copy that over into other ones. So that's really cool that you can just get a quick picture of the entire market as far as the indicator is concerned. So that's one way that I also like to use it. But okay, moving on. So one thing to note is that we have this bullish divergence down here on the swing trade. And I mean, I'll take it to my grave. You know, I'll say every day, like, those are the trades that you typically want to hold on to. You know, those are the trades that typically work out to be very favorable. You know, where you come down, you hit a swing zone, a bunch of traders open up positions, you come down, stop them out, and then make the real move. But I will say that it hasn't been the best reaction so far. Like, one thing I was saying in the chat is that I think the last thing I posted was this, which was this day trade divergence. So let me actually zoom in a little further. So there was this day trade divergence where we dropped down, took the low with divergence right here. And I pointed out in my channel, I was like, I think I put some little eyes around it, like, ooh, like this is when I'm perking up, like when I see something like that divergence, okay, that could be really great. And then I said what I would want to see now is I would want to see these day trades getting pushed out. Like I want to see a shift on the day trades. I want to see the shorts, the day trade shorts failing. And that would be a good confirmation that the bias is shifting in the market. So right now, all it looks like is just a range. Potentially we could range a little more. Who knows? Maybe we could come down to SFP it again, or if we are going to continue up from here, the bigger players like the whales or whatever, the market makers, they could just be building positions right here. They could be building a large position, looking to maybe stop everyone out, to test everyone before making a move up. That's always a possibility. So all I would really say is that just be aware that we currently are in a state of bullish swing trade divergence, and just be aware that historically speaking, as far as the indicator is concerned, those are, not to be trifled with, those are great areas to be considering a swing long. So me personally, I am long, and I'm holding it. I'll take minimal profit out of those trades, and I'll hold it like as a swing trade, and I will let the indicator dictate how I manage that trade, meaning that I don't take much profit out of it. And even if I get stopped out, I don't care. Like I'll just take another one, I'll take the next trade. But that's what the indicator is really great at, is telling you how to manage your trades. So let me go down here to a smaller time frame. Let's just kind of go over what has happened over the weekend. So I did post before the weekend. I was like, all right, everyone, please be careful on the weekend, because typically the scalp trades get messy. And that is typically the case on weekends, because the volume gets so low that the scalps are just, they're just messy. Like they're not something that I have enjoyed trading on weekends. For Bitcoin specifically, it definitely is more on Bitcoin. So that's why I like to focus on altcoins more. But yeah, this weekend was a very different weekend than we've had for quite a while. Like I haven't seen a weekend where we dump like that in a long time. So that was nice. But yeah, so we came down, put in this bullish day trade divergence, took that trade, and was looking for this to get run out. So the reason why I missed it is because I was wanting to see, let me hide this. I was wanting to see, this was into a level, this was into an SR flip down here into this low. Like right here, you can see. I was aware of the level, but I just didn't like how it was getting thicker. I wanted to see it come down and then make another push up into some of these levels, or at least just to SFP it. So I did miss that one, which sucked, but that's okay. And then I got stopped out of this long and re-entered, which actually is a much better trade because the invalidation was much tighter. We had that SFP of that swing low back here, and it was just a really, really nice trade with a tighter invalidation. So bigger position size. So that is always good. But came down, had a scalp long at the level with the SFP, which is great confirmation to have that, even though I would have taken it without it. That's also one thing to be aware of, is that, in these states of divergence, like it's actually better to not have a signal when you're in that divergence. Like those are like the super strong ones. Like here, take this, for example. We're in auto mode, but take this, for example. let's see what this was. Was this like a, I know that we have that low down there, but I'm gonna draw the fib from here. I'm gonna see if that was that a golden pocket? It was. So check this out. I understand that we came down and put in this low, but this is another low to be aware of. Like that, I think it's valid to draw a fib from this high to this low, me personally. But yeah, we did come up, hit that fib, and most importantly, we hit it with divergence. And check it out. Like, yeah, the indicator, I think that it cleans it up if you have it in range mode, I believe. Let's check it out. Okay, it does clean it up, cleans up these signals, definitely, but that's actually a great example of where it works better doing it manually. So here in this area, the indicator works on market structure. Like it determines bullish and bearish market structure, and that's currently what puts the modes automatically, from bullish to bearish, yada yada. And so the indicator was looking for bearish market structure, I'm guessing, because of this high right here. And it's just good to be aware of like when it stops working, like here, okay, came up, pushed out to the upside. All right, maybe we need to switch that bias. Maybe I need to change to at least ranging, because it's telling the market's telling me that it's not working, it's not bearish right now. So we're going to shift our bias and now start looking for the next one. So here was the next one. We come up, SFP, or more like a failed auction. But the important thing to note is that these are super juicy, and that was a great trade. Come down into another level. So we're in range mode, right? So we saw this chunk of price action right here. Okay, it was giving us some messy signals in auto mode. What do I want to do? Let's do that. That we had that messy price action here. That changed our bias to ranging mode. Ranging mode caught this high with divergence, brought it all the way back down to these lows. Great trade. All the way to the high, all the way to the low, all the way to the high, all the way to the low. Like range mode has been crushing it until right here. Okay, so we're in range mode. Boom, 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 boom. Take the short. Okay, maybe like hold on to it through this one. Okay, stopped out, lost trade. Now our bias is shifting from range mode back to bullish. And so in this stretch, now we're looking at bullish price. Now we're looking for bullish price action. So this right here is a trade that I forget who it was. It might have been like Arsenal, I think is what his name was, or I have to go back and look. But somebody in the chat took this trade, this SFP, and I was looking at it. I was like, yeah, that does look nice. Like, I like that. I like that. We're in the correct mode. We're seeing thick, thin, non-existent. Like it looks like price action's dying. It looks like this trend is dying. But the problem I had, and I also said it in the chat, the problem I had, I was like, well, what level is it? And yeah, like the trade, you could have traded it alone based on the SFP and made like a 2-to-1, it looks like, about a 2-to-1 risk reward. But I just didn't have a level there. And that's why I always like to stress that it's super, super important to have a level and to have a setup that you're already looking for, and let the indicator give you that confidence and confluence going into it. So yeah, just an example of like a trade that worked out, but no real level there. And we kept pushing through all the way back up until we get this very, very nice single confirmation day trade, very quick, very precise, also with a scalp at the SFP is what this was. Okay, boom. And I remember looking in chat, like I'm in Jay's chat. Most people are, I spend most of the time in Jay's chat just because it's more people in there. And but yeah, like everyone's getting all super bullish, everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's not stopping. Everyone's like, thinking we're going to go to the moon. The emotions are starting to flow. And here you have the indicator telling you to take a short position. And we're at a level. You take the short. And also, oh man, what is this name? There was another guy who, let me see if I can figure out what his name is real quick. Where was he at? I can't find it right now. Anyways, there was another guy in the chat that had mentioned that we are in a state of divergence up here. And I was like, yeah, that's a good eye. And because we are. So check it out. So let's actually turn off the scalps and put the background color mode on for the day trades. And I'm just in automatic mode for the day trades. And so check it out. This is divergence. And also I was noting that this was also divergence as well. So that's why I was kind of like, I was kind of perked up looking at this one. I didn't trade it, but also aware that everything up here is in a state of divergence from this high, okay? This is day trade divergence, okay? Now, when it would not be day trade divergence, at what point would be if we started getting some signal, if this signal above, through this SFP, kept continuing and became thicker, okay? Like if it got thicker, like whatever, like that, if it got thicker than this previous bar right here, at that point, it would be considered not divergence. So until we get thicker than this bar, we are still in that state of divergence. And it just means that, I want everyone to like understand that, like being in a state of divergence. It's like Market Cipher, Market Cipher is also showing divergence here. Like same way it works. Like here we go. Okay, so it would be everything underneath. Oh, well. Okay, everything underneath that. Let me get a shorter one. Boom. Everything underneath this wave is diverging because here's where the point is. So everything on this run up is diverging on the Market Cipher 3-minute. And so same thing for the indicator. Indicator is in a state of divergence. Market Cipher is in a state of divergence. Like I just want everyone to understand how to read it. At what point will we not be in a state of divergence? Well, it's when we're thicker than this one, okay? So we come up, divergence, boom, take the short at the SFP. Super, super good risk to reward on that. Nice tight invalidation. And the important thing to note here is that we just hit a divergence, a day trade divergence. So those are the ones that you want to be aware of. Like those are the ones that you want to keep in the back of your mind saying, I might want to keep a chunk of this trade on. That's going to be your decision. That's going to be your choice to decide how much profit you want to take out. But I mean, yeah, like that's all I can say is that these are typically the better trades as far as the indicator is concerned. They're typically the longer winded trades. And yeah, so let's see if it doesn't look like, it looks like the day trades and auto mode have been looking in bearish mode. And technically this is bearish market structure, but let's see if we can catch any longs. So let's try range mode. Range mode is like the baseline. So it's like the unfiltered, unbiased opinion and look into a market. It's got no bias to it. So I like to use it It's always interesting to look at price action in range mode to see what type of confirmations you're getting. Um, and here's what I like about it so far. I like that we are seeing in range mode. I like that we're seeing short signals and no long signals. Okay. And here's the reason why I like that for a bullish case. Okay. Don't hold me to this if we dump from here, but I do like that we're putting in short signals only. And that to me says that it requires less effort to hold the price up, if that makes any sense. Like, we didn't have a day trade down here at this low, and it's like less effort was required to rebound price up here. So that's how I kind of look at it. Like, I see almost, I almost see a bias going to the upside. Let's see what bullish mode looks like. See what we can see. Nothing. Wow. Okay. So that's interesting that we have no day trades, no day trade longs down here. Interesting. And so one thing that you could be saying to yourself, okay, we have no day trade longs. Let's put it in bullish mode, and let's preemptively assume that this swing trade divergence that we just had is going to play out to the upside. What would be the best trade to take? Well, it would be if the bias is truly shifted, then we should be looking in bullish mode on the day trades, and we should be looking for something nice like, okay, that's not what I wanted. We should be looking for, boom, like come down here. That would be super nice, is to come down, hit a level, wreck everyone, okay? Everyone who is long. I like that this is like an extended range, because there's going to be so many people that are long and just holding on for dear life. So many people to wreck. Okay, that would be super nice to come down, wreck everyone, and then make the move with a bullish day trade signal. Okay, looking for a bullish day trade signal. Would still be in bearish mode on the scalps if we're coming down, because that's bearish structure. But if I see a bullish day trade there, and I see a scalp, and we're in scalps coming down, I would like to see a scalp divergence as well. I would take it without it, but it would be nicer to come down with a scalp div into a day trade at a level, and yeah, I'd take it all day and hold it, because I'm anticipating that swing div to play out. And so that's a really great way to use it, is like to have that bias and to say, okay, I'm going to assume that we're going to be bullish here, because that's what I would have wanted to assume every time before when I saw a divergence on the swing trades. I would have wanted to be bullish there, and I would have wanted to take long trades and hold them for as long as possible. So that is what I will choose to do again. Like, why stop? Okay, so that would be nice. Also, being aware that we could come down and sweep it again with divergence. You really never know what's going to happen. But at what point would I be bearish? I would be super bearish if we come back down and start putting in more swing trade signals. Like, that would just be, that would be bearish in my opinion, because something to also consider. So let's take this, let's consider the thickness, right? Technically, we have SFP'd it, okay? And that is typically like a trend ending move, this SFP, but the signals are getting thicker, okay? So there is potential to keep coming back down, and if we do, we'll just have to reassess and go from there. But yeah, that covers it for Bitcoin, I think. I mean, I could look at some scalp trades real quick. Actually, I don't think I'm going to go over scalps. I just want to move on from that. Does anyone, real quick, let me pop back into the chat and see, does anyone have any questions for me so far? Let me see. All right, so Horace asks, how do you manage a swing? The indicator is your invalidation. You don't use HSL. HSL, what does HSL mean, bro? HSL. Anybody? Does anybody know what HSL means? Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me know what you mean by that, bro. By the way, could you go over POS? Is that an altcoin? Because if it is an altcoin, I'm not going to get to that today. I'm going to be going over everything that we voted for in the chat, which is ARB and XRP and Sol. Oh gosh. Okay, so now Sol. We'll try to get to Sol. I want to go over Ethereum before Solana, but we're going to do Ethereum, ARB, and XRP, and I'm going to have to kind of go quick because I don't want to like take it too much of everyone's time. Like I understand that everyone's got places to be. So, all right. Arsenal, yeah, he said, yep, that was me. The next CDW of the weekend high was much better trade. Agreed. Hey, bro, having difficulty when to be switching modes, i.e. scalps, 5-minute. Do you switch when there's a break of structure? Maybe have a channel dedicated to your BTC settings when you would switch. Okay, Ruel, I don't know if you asked this before I answered it, but here's a perfect example of when to switch. I am on the wait, where is it? Okay, right here. I'm on the 3-minute, right? I'm going to take scalps. I'm going to put them in, first, let me put these on dots, swings on dots. Let me put the X-ray, or I'm sorry, let me put the scalps into bearish mode. Okay. Now, at what point, ask yourself this. Look at this run of price action, this bearish run of price action, right? At what point do they stop working? At what point is bearish scalps not working? Okay, right now it looks like they're working pretty damn good. You know, especially like considering this is like more of like an SFP, come up weak, back down to the lows. Come up, get some signals, boom, into a level, boom, back down to the lows. All right. At this point, there's absolutely no reason to take it out of bearish mode unless you're anticipating this bullish divergence for the day trades and especially the bullish divergence on the swing trades. So at this point, you can safely assume that you should maybe start considering to come out of bearish mode because you've got some very bullish day trade signals and a very bullish swing trade signal. So at least keep it in the back of your mind coming from this point on, okay? Like assuming you don't know what happens after this, assuming from this point on, like maybe they could stop working. So maybe don't take that first trade, you know, especially if it's not at a level, but maybe be anticipating them to stop working. Like, okay, and look for confirmation. Okay, that's a good sign. Not they're starting to push out. I'm gonna want to keep seeing that and starting, let me look at this. Like it just, to me, it's obvious that right here, you should not be looking in bearish mode anymore because bearish mode is not serving you well. The bias has changed. At least, you know, take it down a notch to ranging and then see what happens. Let's see it, clean it up. Okay, cleaned it up. Cleaned it up. What do we do? Come up, put it a signal, get a little like SFP like failed auction that we were looking at earlier. Actually, that was into that little golden pocket right here. But yeah, that would be how you adjust your bias is you let the market tell you that it's not working anymore. So hope that clears it up. And to answer your question, I do think it would be a good idea for me to like share my settings, but I mean, I'm not always trading all the time, so I just don't want to mislead anyone and like have an old setting posted and then like a new like a beginner comes in and sees, oh, he's got his settings this way and mimic those settings. So I actually don't think I'm going to do that. And the reason is because like I want to teach you guys how to fish, you know. I'm not going to spoon feed everyone like levels and settings and stuff. Like I'm going to give you guys how the knowledge of how to use it, because that is going to serve you best. Like it's going to serve you best to have that experience of how to use it properly. So I'll always be here to like educate people on how to use it and share my opinions. For sure I will, but I don't want to like mislead, like especially like a new person. Okay, Horace says a hard stop loss. Yes, I always use hard stop loss. Well, I take that back. I don't always use a hard stop loss. Sometimes I'll have it on longer trades for sure. Like if I'm not managing it live, more so for scalps. Like if I take a scalp, sometimes I'll have that soft stop loss. Like I'll just be waiting to close it manually. But for a swing and like a day trade, I'll always have a stop loss if I step away from my computer. So, and I would recommend everyone to do that because that's how you get wrecked. So far, just following along to get a better understanding of your thought process when using the indicator. Position size. Okay, by the way, could you go over position size? I mean, yeah, it's simple. It's super simple. It's just your position size is based, and I think Jay talked about this today. I talked about Jay, or I caught some of Jay's stream, but yeah, bro, it's super simple. You want to risk 1% of your account per trade, or most people do, risk 1%. Okay. To catch these, you got to be pretty quick, but the trade would be for this SFP would be coming back through the low, entering as we re-enter, entering a position as we re-enter through that low and putting your stop loss underneath the low. Okay, and the stop loss is 0.21%. Okay, so check this out. I know I made that position size calculator and it's great. Don't get me wrong, but I really don't even use it. Like I'll show you what I do. So check this out. And I think I'm going to make an indicator for this, but I like to use quarter increments, right? Check this out. We're going to drag this down to a 1%, and I'll show you why. 1%, all right, that is 1%. And now we're going to take this Fibonacci tool, and we're going to line it up with 1%. Boom. And then I'm going to not extend the lines right. And then I'm going to take this back up to where it should be. Okay, so there you go. Stop loss below the low. In this case, I do what Capex does. Capex uses, and there's a reason why I do this. Capex uses quarter increments. So actually this thing is flipped upside down. Let me do this. Boom. Boom. All right. So quarter increments, 0.25% increments. That means that anything in this zone, okay, say you come down and if your stop loss is anywhere in this 0.25 zone, you can enter your full account at 4x leverage. And this is for 1% risk, okay? That's what we're assuming on all of these. So let me make this smaller. Boom, full account at 4x leverage, okay? Anything in this zone, if you hit it and your stop loss is within 0.25%, full account 4x. anything in this, let me turn this off, hold on. Okay, anything within 1% is full account at 1x leverage, okay? So if we come down and it's like 0.85% stop loss, I just use it in, like I say, in quarter increments, just like KPAX does. Okay, so anything below the 0.75 to the 1 is a full account at 1x leverage. Anything within here, 0 to 2 or 0 to 0.5 is full account at 2x leverage. And anything at 0.75 is full account at, oh God, what is it? Hold up, let me check. I should know this. Conditional, I have them set into my Stream Deck, but let's see. So 10 at 10. Oh crap, what is it? I think it's like 1.6 or 1.5 or something like that. Let's see. 142, where's my 0.5? 13.3. Okay, it's 1 point, there it is. It's 1.33, sorry. 1.33x. Anything within 0.75% stop loss, you could do a full account at 1.33x. Like, this is how I do all my trades. So it's all just broken out into quarter increments. Does that make sense? I hope so. And if not, use my position size calculator that is on my website, or Jay posted it in the advanced course, or in the advanced section for his Discord. Do you use scalp signals like additional confirmation? I like to look for scalp signals for sure in day trades. Yeah, absolutely, bro. So really, really good ones like, here's this last one that happened was, where is it? Oh, that's why. This last one that happened was right here. I mean, it was just like a quick confirmation for day trade and scalp. You'll see that. And then also you have, like here's an example of where it didn't work, but again, not at a level. So that's why it's always important to have that level there that you're looking to take. But yeah, I like to use them as confluence for sure. Really good when you see like a divergence, like a scalp divergence into a J trade. Those are super strong, but absolutely want to be looking for confluence. Like the same goes for day trade signals in swing trades as well. So can you please show how an example of divergence again? Yes, I can. Here we go right here. That's one, or I could also just show, this one is super, super easy to see. I'm going to delete all of this right here. So, or let me make it a little bit more clear. So day trade, both. Day trade signal right here, boom, at this low. Okay, you're in the correct mode where it would be looking in bearish mode at this point. We come down right here, boom, SFP that low, and we have on the indicator, we have a signal, and then we have no signal. Oh well, right here, no long signal, right? Same thing for right here. For this low, no long signal. It would also be a divergence. These are the better ones. These are the best ones when you have no signal at all. Okay? It would also have been a divergence Okay, if you had a signal there, let's see, also would be a divergence if you had a signal there and it was thinner than day trade, boom. If we came down, like let's say here on this last one, okay, let's say we started printing some long signal bars, came down here, like messed around, whatever, did anything, hit a level, and then came back out, okay, through this line, through that swing, through that point, and we confirmed the confirmation was thinner, right? If it was thinner than this one, still a divergence, okay? But the best ones are the non-confirmations. Why don't we use scout mode on auto mode? Usually they move too fast to be able to catch the change in time. I mean, honestly, like I think auto mode works pretty dang good on scalps. I usually am running scalps in auto mode just because the bias changes, multiple times throughout the day. Whereas the day trades bias should not change, maybe once, maybe twice a day. And then the swing trades, you're very rarely changing. But I like running scalps in auto mode just when I'm not like actively managing it, unless I see that it clearly is not working, and then I'll manually operate it. Bro, do you have any plans to add some more features to this lovely indicator in the future? Absolutely, man. I'm a market cipher. I'm not going to hate on market cipher, right? I don't want to hate on like CryptoFace, but I I think it's lame when people release products and don't improve them. Like I really like the guys at LuxAlgo. Yeah, I don't use, I tried it for a month, was not a fan. It was about a year ago, but I just like that they're always developing it. And I think I would like to actually try it again because I think that I know that those guys are really good coders and they're constantly improving their product. And that's what I'm going to do as well. Like, I mean, right now I've been mostly focused on, establishing everything like the Discord and getting everyone's access granted. Like, I have to do all that stuff manually. And then I've been building out my website and, like legal stuff. And it's been a lot of work, but I will, once things kind of settle down, like definitely get back into the development of the indicator. And I also want everyone's feedback. Like, you know, I, I've already received feedback from like Jay and Sergio Tesla and Jassa and Ponzi Trader. Like those guys were beta testing it for me, gave me really great feedback, but I want feedback from the community as well. Like people to tell me what they would like to see, and then I can go about determining if it should be in there, and then I'll implement it. So, yes. VWAP's indicator was awesome. Glad to hear it. Overall, what caused me to finally become profitable as a trader was learning to not lose money. Absolutely, bro. You gotta save that money. Like you gotta minimize those losses for sure. Same with me, man. Like really learning how to take a small loss and just move on and not be emotional, super helpful. So, all right, that is our analysis for Bitcoin. Now I'm going to move on to Ethereum. It's been a while since I don't really typically trade Ethereum, but it is good to be aware of what's going on. So let's just real quick come in and do some analysis. So high time frame, monthly level. I'm going to delete that one. This one is still good. And that looks like it for the monthlies, weekly. This one is going to move right here. This weekly is going to go right here. And Oh, we have another weekly right here. I'm surprised I don't have that one. That looks like a nice one right there. Okay. Yeah, that looks like it for the weeklies, dailies. Going to have to delete a lot of these. Let me turn off the indicator. Boom, boom. Oh, look at that one. Juicy. Look at that. Wham, right on the dollar, baby. Okay. I'm going to take that since it's been hit. We have a huge fan of that one. I'll mark it anyway, so I guess. Here, right here. And this would be a tapped daily to be aware of. And then for sure, this one right here. Okay. High time frame is done. Key levels, let's see what we have. This one can go. Oh my goodness, look at this. That is just mean. Look at this front run right here, man. That is just mean. So mean. Why would they do that? Oh, brutal. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, this is all I really like. Maybe this, that already got hit. I really like these types of ones, and I'll tell you why. These ones are I really enjoy, like where you come down, put in a big low, and the first point that you come back and find resistance at, I really like to keep those marked. Those are oftentimes really good trades. Same thing for here. This was the first point of resistance that we had, so I'll always keep that one marked. And then additionally, I would have had this one right here for the high, which did get traded into. And so that's always like something to be aware of, is like sometimes I used to look at these like be like, oh, look, it's been traded through so many times. Like this SR flip is not valid. You know, it's been traded through, like it should have found support here, but it didn't. And therefore it's not valid anymore. But that's actually not the case. Like you'll come up, see how we came all the way back down, perfect support at the SR flip. Guarantee we had a signal there. We'll look at it later. But yeah, I always like to keep those. And then additionally, like that first level that got put in. So that looks good to me. Maybe this one as well, like just to be aware of. Not a huge one, but I would also be aware of that one. So this one, here's a great example of an SR flip on a lower scale time frame. We're on the 4-hour right now, but check this out. Boom, look at that. Beautiful. Okay, moving on. SFPs, oh my goodness. Okay, as you can see, I haven't updated Ethereum in a while. Let's get rid of these. Look at that. They front ran the SFP too. Like, oh my goodness. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Okay. Here, and at the high. Boom. Okay, SFPs are done. Ranges and volume. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, like I said, like I'm not so interested in this point of control. It's been traded through so many times, like it's just not valid anymore. I think that the volume profile would need to start here. Okay, that's a nice one actually right there. So we are going to take this point of control go here. Also, something that I really love using is a developing point of control. I think that I don't think enough people use developing point of control. So I have a setting for, no, not range, extended dev POC. So yeah, here's the range types I have, just like a normal range that's not extended, a non-extended range with a developing point of control, an extended range with a developing point of control, and then just a regular extended range with no developing point of control. But it's nice to have those presets. So yeah, here we go, extended point of control range. And you can see right here, okay, boom. This is where the point of control moved up at this point. Also, maybe not the worst idea to have this first one, like a mini POC, is what I call them, or like a session POC. Maybe just to be aware of it, see if maybe we see some confluence there with something else. Okay. Point of control there. Let's see what we have here. This is clearly a range, I would say, from right here. Range extended. Okay, this point of control is here. I would say that what would be the best for this is to not come back up and take that right away. I don't think we could, but I would really, I would almost really like it if we came down to this one first, took that, and then maybe came back up to this one for a short, or who knows, maybe just continue through it. But oops. All right, what else do we need to be aware of here? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, that is that. This value area low for sure, need to be aware of that. And I like to mark these out because when you're on a lower time frame, you can't see it, and that's frustrating. So always want to have those marked. Okay, looks good to me. Gonna move that up. Also probably up here, I would say, at this high. And then I want to get a downtrend POC as well. So that's another thing that is always a great idea, because you'll see on these extended runs, like on an extended bearish run, you'll see these POCs like form, and you'll see price action. Like here's a perfect example. Lovely. Let me hide this one. Here's a perfect example of what I mean. Hopefully this was there right there. I'm sure it was. Let's do range extended dev POC. Boom. Okay. So you'll see it happen frequently where when we're in extended down moves where they bring price down underneath a point of control. Okay. And then they'll bring it back up, take the point of control, and keep going. And then more points of control will keep forming on the way down, and price will keep dipping below, come back up, get that last point of control, and keep continuing. So it's always nice to have that downtrend point of control, or that downtrend range with developing points of control, just to see what you're leaving behind. So I'm going to for sure have this one marked, like that's some good volume up there. RIP anyone who opened a long up there. Don't know why you would do that, but there are a lot of people that do. So, okay, this was mitigated right here. So let's see here now, or maybe here. Let's try here. Okay, so the question you would ask yourself is how many traders, how many people were in longs here? All of those longs were opened here. Now they're underwater, but did they take profit up here? You know, how many of them are still open? Because those are the ones that are going to close their positions out when we come back and cause a reaction. So not the biggest fan of this POC, simply because the guys who open longs here have already potentially taken profit. So I'll keep it, but not my favorite. Gonna mark it as like a session point of control just to tell me that it might be weak. This one has already been run through, so we're going to move that for now, and then we're going to go on this downtrend and see what we see here. This one I like more. Oh, actually, this one's been mitigated too. Look at this. Point of control, all these fools who open longs here, the breakout traders who were super emotional, getting Moon Boy vibes, opened up their longs, market maker crushed a lot of them, and then the ones who held their positions through that, what was that, like a 6% move, closed them out here, liquidity or point of control mitigated, liquidity taken. Now the move can continue. So I'm not going to mark this one because it's already been mitigated as well. And then maybe like see what's here. Look at these guys. Yeah, that's one to have marked. So this is just like showing you guys how to know which points of control are going to be important. Like you got to look at the price action. You got to ask yourself, where did those trades open? Did they have a chance to take profit yet, or did they just immediately get put underwater? So, I mean, here's an example. Like everybody who opened along here didn't have a chance to take profit. They're immediately underwater. So that's a good one to look for. Boom. Okay, moving on. I'm going to try to go faster. Like I don't, trying to understand if people like want me to do longer ones or want me to keep these short and brief. Let me know what you guys think, and I will definitely try to adapt with what everyone would prefer. So, okay, I haven't done this in a while, clearly. Let me go out to a higher time frame. But almost done. I've got the fibs. Last thing. Did that get hit? No, it did not. Take this to the top. Get this one up there too. Boom. Where's the other one? There it is. Boom. The 0.5 already got hit on this one, so this one we're going to turn off the 0.5. And what else? Oh, full from the top too. Go from the high to the low and to the 0.5 there. Ooh, I like that. I like that 0.5 right on that SFP if we come up here and don't drop any further. Although kind of looks like it would be nice if we did, but we'll see what the indicator is saying soon enough. And then I'll get some see what we see here. These ones I'm just going to do the golden pocket only. Okay, I will keep that one. It's like right above maybe a little SFP. I'll just keep it for now. I'll delete it if I don't like it and I don't see any confluence. This one, definitely going to have that one. Okay, move them into fibs. And I think that looks pretty good. Npox, I used to have this whenever I had exo charts, but I don't use exo charts anymore. And yeah, honestly, like this is a great example of just like, okay, this MPOC right here, here's a perfect example. Like this is a dumb, it seems like a dumb MPOC to me. Like how many traders are really, how many traders really have open positions there? I mean, I could be wrong. Don't get, I mean, I could be wrong, but it just seems dumb to me to have this one marked unless there's more in here. But this is one that you would pull off of ExoCharts, and it's like people just blindly, oh, look, there's an MPOC there, and like, look, here's where the volume's at. Like, if anything, it's right there and there. Boom, look at that. Perfect. Oh man, what a great example. Boom, baby, look at that. Let me get it right on the money. Hold on. Boom. Look at that. How much money you want to bet this thing's got divergence on it? Let's see. How much money you want to bet? Oh my goodness, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Divergence at the point of control. Look at that. Oh my goodness. That is a money shot. Okay. Moving on, let's get into the indicator. And, but yeah, so that's why you always have to like take it into context. Like, okay, you can use MPOCs for sure in ExoCharts. Don't get me wrong, they work, but like always go back and see what happened in that price action. Like, make sense of it, you know? Because that MPOC actually did come up. I think it was like right here, came up, got run through. Like, you know, it wasn't like a clean trade like this one was. Like this was the clean one. Like this is where all that volume, all those people who were long from here were just desperately begging to get out of their positions. And then they did right here. Boom. Okay, moving on. All right, so now we're at the indicator. Okay. And make sure we have everything set correctly. So we're going to go to the high time frame, the 4 hour. Right now it's in ranging mode, and we are going to see what we see. Okay, so first thing to note is that, let's see. Let me look at this in bullish. Try auto, actually. I just want to see what auto mode looks like. Auto mode is great, like when you're looking at these bigger pictures, because it will help clean it up. For sure. Let's try bullish mode. Also interesting to note is that, man, the bullish mode did not catch this high right here. So also why I really like ranging mode is because, okay, so if you're not catching signals, like, I mean, you should be, like, you should be catching signals, like, you might just want to manually operate it in times like that, where it doesn't seem like the auto mode is working well. So let me go back into bullish. Let's look at this run right here. Just a clearly bullish run of price action. I think this is when Bitcoin put in the low. It is, because this was the start of the new year. Interesting how Bitcoin came down and put in a new low, but meanwhile Ethereum was putting in a higher low. Interesting. But anyways, okay, so from this run, okay, we're in bullish mode. We're looking at bullish price action. We would be looking for these signals to continue working. And the first thing that I am seeing is that the same thing that I see on Bitcoin, which is that the signals are starting to become less effective. Here, divergence, boom, into a level, I don't know what it was, but into something, same thing that Bitcoin did. This actually looks really similar to Bitcoin. Same thing, down into a level. This was when Bitcoin hit the golden pocket. This one looks like it could be the golden pocket on Ethereum as well. and it was. So golden pocket on Ethereum and Bitcoin at the same time. Swing trade confirmations for both. Boom, right out of it into new highs. Same thing I have mentioned many times before is this divergence. These are trend ending moves, or trend ending signals, or whatever you want to call it, confirmation. This is super, super, super bearish. And you see it on Ethereum and Bitcoin at the same time. Like, I mean, what more could you possibly want? Okay, so just being aware, like from this point, ooh, that could be super bearish. And then what you'd really want to be looking for confirmation is to be looking at bullish day trades, like to stop working. And we're on too high of a time frame to look at that right now, but that would be really great confirmation, is to start seeing that bias shift on the lower trade types, like the day trades. So come down, get a signal at this SFP of this low, take it, a decent move, nothing spectacular, 3-ish%, maybe around 4%. We come down, we fail auction that, okay? Fail auction it into a state of divergence. And so this is another thing to be aware of, is like sometimes it's like a clean, what's going on? Sometimes it's like a clean divergence where you come down, you take that low, you reclaim it, and you get back up and out quick. Other times it can be more of like a where you spend time down there, where it's like you could be telling yourself, okay, and I do this as well, and I have to remind myself not to, but you know, think about your mindset. Like you'd be like thinking, okay, ooh, we had this really nice trade. These have been working super great, okay? These long trades. We would now want to take the trade and see a really great reaction out of it, but we don't get it, okay? We come down, we SFP it once, and then you could be telling yourself, ooh, that is super bullish. Like, you know, that SFP with divergence, like that's a super bullish move right there. And, you know, what do? We come down and SFP it again before we get a really decent move out of it. Like, what is this move? This is... that's about 9% move, you know, but just the point I'm trying to make is that like trading is hard and it's not always going to be super straightforward. Like this indicator is great, but it's not, you know, doesn't always work like super perfect. You know, the market is fluid and dynamic, and you always want to like be open to many scenarios. And so this is a scenario where you could have gotten really discouraged, like, oh man, that should have been a good trade, but it wasn't. Oh, and then we took it again. Like, just don't get discouraged. Like, just know what the conditions are. All right. And the condition, as far as the indicator is concerned, is that everything below here without signals printing is in a state of divergence. Okay. So don't get your hopes discouraged. Like, definitely be looking for levels, be looking for those confirmations, but just always be aware of like the state that you're in. And this would have been a state of divergence. Anything down here, I don't know exactly what the levels were. It looks like this final dagger move was likely maybe a point of control down here or something. Maybe, who knows? Maybe it was like a daily. I bet it was a daily. Oh, was that the daily we were looking at earlier? Let's see, was that a daily? It was a daily. Yeah, that was a daily level. Boom. Right here, daily level taken. Let's actually go down to, let's just take a little, right? Actually, no, we're not going to do that. I want to keep going. Oh, crap. But what I was going to say is like go down there and see what we see on the day trades, but we'll get into the day trades here in a little bit. But okay, where are we at right now as far as the indicator is concerned? Let me go to a lower time frame, the 4-hour. Let me go down to the 2-hour. And we're still in bullish mode looking at it. I mean, yeah, like the signals are less effective. And so let's see, let's switch it to range mode. And honestly, this was yeah, this bullish trade did end up working out. Okay, look at that. Okay. Okay, this is a great example. And this is the same thing that happened on Bitcoin. I would have done this on Ethereum, I just don't really trade it, but we're going to use replay mode, and I suggest everybody use replay mode. And we're going to go back and just look at this chunk of price action and how you would want to structure your bias based on what the indicator is telling you. So here we are, we're in bullish mode on Ethereum. We're looking for continuation to the upside. So far, that's what we've been getting on this run up. Boom, signal, divergence, continuation. Boom, signal, continuation. And so we would want to keep seeing that. Like we want more continuation, right? And so first red flag is that we don't get that continuation right here. We do ultimately, yes, but it's just messy, right? Like it's messy. It wasn't so clear. Like it was harder to stay in this trade. Emotions were flowing. Like, okay, should have been bullish there. Okay, should have gotten a better reaction. We didn't. I mean, we did get a good one, but and eventually work our way up. But like this is red flag right here. Okay, red flag that should be telling you as a user of the indicator that there's a potential that this very bearish signal up here is going to be the big kahuna. You know, it's going to be the one that really squashes this move. Okay? Telling yourself that in the back of your mind. And then what do? We come down here, get some swing longs, and it's messy. Red flag. Okay? Then you can preemptively, as a user, take it down a notch. Okay, let's try range mode. And what do you have? Would you look at that? You got a dang signal at the top. So this short, this range signal short, comes down and takes out the low again, confirming that the bias has shifted, right? So we had that bullish long trade right here. We're now getting pushed out to the downside. It's just confirmation that it has shifted. And, you know, in an ideal world, like it would be great if the indicator could catch all of them at once. And I have thought about doing that, like where we merge the modes, you know, so to speak, like where there's an option to merge them all and to like show all. I think that would actually be kind of cool. So that's a potential for the future as far as the indicator is concerned. But yeah, that would be the lesson is, okay, we would have wanted to see strong continuation. We didn't. We got to move out of it. It was messy. Red flag, switch it down, catch the short, hedge it, boom. You know, take profit, but like know that, you know, if the scenario, if we're looking for that higher low or that lower high, then, you know, it would be caught not in bullish mode. It would be caught in bearish or range mode. So I hope that makes sense. Let me know if it doesn't, but let's see what would you look at that? A golden pocket. Like, dang, man, isn't it's funny that people really honestly think that technical analysis doesn't work. It's comical. It is so comical. Okay, but that was the point that I wanted to get across, like how to know and flow with the indicator and like, you know, flow with it, like read it. You know, it's hard to code that stuff in. You know, our minds are so powerful and we're very intelligent, right? It's hard to code that in to the script, to code in what you can do as an end user with your brain. I mean, that's the goal, is to be able to do that, but it's hard to do things like that, like where that little red flag moment that says, okay, just caught a really good signal up here. Maybe we should be shifting, like hypothetically, like maybe. And then what do? We keep it in range mode. maybe playing back and forth. You know, it looks like it would have been good to maybe play back and forth to go back into bullish to see if we could catch any like long scalps, I guess you would say, like a, you know, like look at this, like this was a beautiful, beautiful trade. But with the understanding, okay, so we're catching it in bullish mode, but with the understanding that we've seen a shift, right? So we're not expecting for this bullish swing trade to come back up and to take out that high. Like our bias has shifted. We've got a really strong divergence at the top. We've got a weaker mode, range mode, caught this high and brought it back down to retake that low. Like the bias has shifted. So we take this long expecting a lower high, right? How much you want to bet it was a golden pocket? Oh, would you look at that? A golden pocket, another one. Okay, so lower high, okay, expecting that to come, expecting to not reclaim that high based on your bias. And that would have been the perfect trade, you know, go back into range mode, you caught that low, switch it back to range mode, looking for continuation to the downside, and that's exactly what you get. Boom, at the golden pocket, another swing trade continuation, another chance for you to compound your short. You know, that's another thing like you can really do is you can start YOLOing like some just bomb trades, like where you take a trade up here, knowing the circumstances, catch this SFP and hold that, and then compound it like on the way down. I mean, you're looking at a very, very large position. Like, let's do a little math here, okay? Let's do some math. Well, actually, I don't even really have to do math on it, but for the sake of the argument, let's see what this was. Okay, so this is a 0.3, almost a 0.3 stop loss. All right, I personally, I'm 4xing that. I'm 4xing my account on that, depending on how quick I caught it. Like maybe if you're a little slower to catch it, then probably like a 0.5 move. So 2x your account. Let's just, for the sake of the wow factor, say that we caught that on a 0.25 stop loss and entered 4x our account on it. 4x, let's say you took very minimal profit, as you should, because that is a very, very strong signal. Minimal profit, like I'm talking 5-10% of the trade, hold the rest. So here you are holding, we're still just going to call it 4x of your account. You compound that here, okay? That would take your average price. Let's get the 0.5. Let's say we entered it right here. Okay, if you doubled your position size, that would put your new trade average entry price right here with now 8x your account. Okay, you have 8x of your money now on this trade, and your bias is still to the downside. Like, okay, boom, caught that in range mode. That's weak. We come down and take the low again. Ooh, I'm still bearish. Like, you know, this could be a really, really good trade, right? So we'll do it again. We're average entry price, double your position again here at the next golden pocket. Now your position, average entry, is right here. And now you have 16x your account. 16x your account for I'm not trading Ethereum, but I would be, honestly, I'd be closing, I would be looking for a really strong divergence down here. You know, I'd be looking for something good. But a 14% move on 16x your account, that is what, like easily tripling your account already, if not more. Maybe, I don't know what the math is, but it's a big freaking trade, right? And so that is like a good example of how you can have a bias, right? And find places to compound that trade and have a really, really large trade that is going to have a significant impact on your paper trading account. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that is a great example of how to use this indicator. And so now what we're seeing as far as the swing trades are concerned with Ethereum is we have a long trade showing up in range mode. I would say that this is absolutely something to be taking high consideration of. Look at the last one. Okay, here was the last one. Boom. Who's to say that we can't do something? It doesn't look like this, right? This was a quick move out. This is not a quick move, but there is absolutely potential to do something like this. Like here's a great example. Boom, signal, okay. Get a signal, play around, put in some range, build some positions for the market maker to crush them, and then make the move. Goodbye. That is possible. Absolutely. That would be the next setup. That looks like the most likely scenario here is to maybe do something like that. We could even range for a little bit longer. It is Monday. Maybe come down and put in a good, nice Monday low. But yeah, like keep that in mind. That is absolutely possible. Market makers building positions, crush them, move. Crush them before the real move. So that's definitely a possibility right now. I would have liked to see this get out quicker, but yeah, that looks like it could be good. You know, like say for example, we did do that and then came up and put in a new high. I mean, you would be looking back saying, oh my God, that was just so obvious. Like so obvious. Why wouldn't I not take that trade? And the answer is that you should take that trade. Well, I shouldn't say that. The answer is that you might highly consider to take that paper account trade. So, all right, there we are on the swing trades. Range mode is what I'm looking at on both Bitcoin and Ethereum. And now we're going to go down to day trades and see what we see there. And then once I get through this, I'm going to pop in the chat. I haven't been watching the chat because I just want to get through this. But after this, I'm not going to go into the scalp trades. Like it's just too granular. But we're going to go over the day trades, get a good like little macro picture, and then I will go into the chat and see what questions we have. So, okay, let me actually turn off, put it on dots. We're in range mode. We're in the correct mode for swing trades. Did we take that? Oh, so close. We haven't taken it yet. I would really, really like to come take that low and see if we have any confluence on there. That's another thing I forgot to do is to look for confluence between my analysis. But okay, so day trades, here we are. We're in bearish mode. So let's look at this. Let's look at this run from the top. Let me make this shorter. Okay, let's look at this run from the top. Swing trade signal. We are in bearish mode, so ideally not looking at these bullish runs, but more or less just trying to get a feel for where we're at. I mean, so far there's really no, I don't see anything bullish yet. Like there's no reason to not be in bearish mode unless, you know, we're anticipating this to play out. So let's actually go from bearish into, let's try ranging, see if we caught any of these lows. Look at that. Beauty. Beauty. I have a hard time catching these trades, which are these pre-SFPs. They are definitely my least favorite to catch. Like, there's got to be some way to catch them. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't have any way of doing analysis to catch something like this. Like, I have SFPs, I have points of control, like volume, stuff like that. I don't know how to catch these unless we were looking at this low right here. But that's not really like an SFP. That's more of like a failed auction move. But regardless, okay, so range mode did catch this low. And this I would be more considering as, I mean, anytime I'm coming down, any trade that I take after a swing trade like this, I mean, I don't care. Like, I'm holding it. You know, I'm holding the most of it. You know, you get that TP1 in for sure. I like to use the scalps to find TP1s. Get that TP1 in for sure, but I like to hold the rest of it because it makes the most sense to do that. So this would be a great example of taking like a day trade and holding it in anticipation for maybe, just maybe, you know, we don't come back down and take that low. I don't know, this is Bybit. Maybe Binance did, I'm not sure, but maybe we don't come down and take that low. Wouldn't it be smart to be in a position just in case, you know, just in case. But we can also come down and take that low for another final move. Like, we'll see if there's some levels down here, but just always being aware, you know, you always want to have different scenarios worked out in your mind. Like, it's one thing that Jay is really, really good at, that I'm sure everyone can attest to. Like, he's always got many scenarios playing out. And you can do the same thing with this indicator. So, okay, ranging mode, caught that. I would honestly, I would be in ranging mode because I would like to see what happens down here if we are going to, if we're going to move up from here. Like, I would like to see something happen, like an SFP, then move up. But in anticipation for this playing out bullish, I would be back and forth between bearish and range mode. Right now, I would have it in range mode, just trying to look for, if you're looking for a long, anticipating that the swing trade could play out. So, okay, that's what I'm looking at right now. Range for the day trades and the swing trades. And I meant to get some confluence to see if I could find some. Interesting that we're under that value area low and that we haven't reclaimed that. That would absolutely be the decision-making point for this to become bullish, is to reclaim that value area before moving higher. So that's definitely something to be aware of, that value area low. Looks like we hit the golden pocket right here. What else do we have? Let's see. Let me just mark these out real quick, and I'll post these in my channel as well. But like I said, like, I'm more or less here to help read the indicator, less so to provide analysis. Like, I think, you know, I think I'm good at analysis, but, you know, I think everyone for the most part has an understanding of how to do technical analysis. And there's a lot of avenues to find really good analysis. Guys like K-Pax and Boyan and White Phoenix and Jay, all those guys are super good at it. So I think, like, I really want to focus on staying in my own lane, which, I mean, I will provide analysis, but more so want to be here for help of how to understand and interpret the indicator. And then we have that SFP. I should have marked that, but definitely want to be aware of that SFP there. Same thing goes for the SFPs. Like, you always have to ask yourself, how many trades are open currently that would have their stop loss right there? Like, here's a great example of one, like, here's a great example. Like, if we, okay, have this SFP right here, boom. If we come down and don't put in a whole lot of price action, like, how many traders really have their stop loss there? Ask yourself that. Like, not that many. Like, it would just be these guys, like, not that many positions. So that would be a case like if we came up and SFP'd it right at this point, you would not necessarily, like, it might not necessarily be as juicy. You know what I'm saying? Because there's not, yeah, ask yourself how many trades are open that would have had to stop right there. I think that's always important to ask yourself and to not just blindly, like, blindly say, oh, there's SFP there. Like, you got to understand why, what makes it a good SFP, and it's because stop losses, people closing their positions. Okay, how many would be there? Those are questions that you want to ask. Are we live still? Hold up. Are we live? I think so. Why is my thing not updating? Huh. Can somebody let me? Okay. Yes, still live. All right, good. I don't know why my line is not updating. I was worried that my internet dropped or something. I was trying to convert this to an SFP line and it's not updating for whatever reason. Okay. SFP right there. Definitely going to be aware of that. Boom. Okay. And then absolutely the one below. And then also, what do we have down here? Let me turn off the indicator and go to like a little bit higher time frame. I just want to see like what these levels are. Golden pocket, very nice. GP 786. I like that zone. That's a wide zone though. Almost kind of want to turn it into multiple trades. Like, I would really prefer to be multiple trades right there. I like that 618 and the daily. I would look at that as one. And the reason I like to do that is just to get a bigger position size. Like, I mean, that's just, you can do whatever you want, but it is kind of more of a zone down here. There's multiple levels to be aware of. So SFP, this is also looks super juicy, and I think this, I almost would really prefer this one, the SFP into the 0.5, because like, how many people are looking for trades right here? So many are probably looking at this golden pocket. There's so many levels right here. It's like potentially overcrowded, where you have to like ask yourself, all right, if I'm a market maker looking to crush as many people as possible, because that is the reality of the world that we operate in, is that you have people that want to crush you and want to take all of your money at all times because they want it for themselves. And so you always have to have that type of a mindset. Like, if I was in control and I was trying to crush as many people as possible, this would be a great opportunity to crush lots of people and to come down and to hit all of their stops. Like, everyone that's going to be entering long here with a responsible stop will be putting it underneath this SFP. So let's do it. Let's take all the longs, maybe even trick them, maybe bring the price up a little bit, like give them some hope, oh, I took a good trade, but definitely not to a point where they can take profit and then smoke them. You know what I'm saying? Just a thought. Um, but yeah, anyways, so those are the levels that I have. Why does TradingView change something recently? Sorry if that was loud. TradingView changed something recently where something to do with like the sharing, like see how this one has got like a sharing link around it and the other ones don't, but I can't put that one in a folder with the other ones. Like I don't, will it even go in there? Now it will. That's so weird. TradingView has, I think it's the way that they link stuff is super weird. It's via this button, and now there's different options: sync and layout, sync globally. I don't get how it works. Okay, that's my zones that I'm looking for. We have the indicator mapped out, no potentials that we're looking for, and moving on to XRP. Okay, let me actually, before I do that, let me get back in chat and see if we have any questions. When long, when short, when signal. Yeah, bro. I mean, I've done my best, man. I've done my best to provide the when short, when long signals. This is as good as I can get with the indicator. Would it be effective if we just pull all the settings to auto? Well, I think I've covered that, where it is always better to operate it manually because you are intelligent. We have the ability to form intelligent opinions based on what we see that is hard to code into the indicator. Like the indicator technology has the power to like harness lots of information at one time and use that to your advantage, but you have the ability to think with intellect and to form opinions based on things that you see. And so I would say it's always better to operate manually, but automatic mode does work pretty well. I'll say it is better to work it manually. Great TA and sound is perfect. Great job, ZenPro. Absolutely. ZenPro is the man. That guy helped me for like an hour to get my audio filters put on and like to get the stream to where it is not dropping frames. Like I hope it's been pretty good, but yeah, that guy helped me for like an hour and I didn't even ask him. Like he came to me and helped. So shout out to ZenPro. You're the man, bro. If you're still in the chat. Wait, is that who? Was that it? Was that the? I think it was ZenPro, right? Hold on, let me double check. Yeah, it was ZenPro. It was Zen. Okay, so sorry, maybe missed it, but how do I pull the developing point of control? Yelena asks. Very simple. You have this fixed range volume profile, which is a very, very important tool for you to use. And you are able to define the start and end point of a range that you'd like to pull volume at. And this would be an example of a fixed range pull. And what you can do is double click and go into the settings, go to style, click on developing point of control, and you'll see how the line, that red line, I don't know, hopefully you can see it in the, there, I'll make it a little thicker for you so you can see that red line bouncing around, ultimately finding a home right here, but it's just the point of control moving and developing throughout this range as more trades are open and more information is received. So that's how you do that. Yes. That's exactly how I look at the market, thinking someone is out there trying to make sure I lose my trade. Yes, absolutely, man. That is the only way to think, I believe, as a trader, is to know that you are, what's the word I'm looking for? You're the prey, you know, you are the hunted, and you want to always know that there's always somebody out there with more money than you and more power to control the market that is looking to wreck you. When we came back down to the low on Bitcoin, where the swing trade signal is, what indications would you not want to see to take a long? When we come back down to the low on Bitcoin, what would you not want to see? I would not, let me see, let me turn on my levels. You always have to consider like your levels too. Let's see, what would I not want to see? First thing I would say is, if we come down, I would want to see a quick move back up and out. Like, I don't want to linger under, I would say, anywhere, like lingering in anywhere in this zone. Like, I would want it to be quick, what am I doing? I would want it to be quick, in and out. Like, I want to see some conviction, I want to see people get wrecked, and then I want to see that V-shaped type recovery back out of it. Like, if the bias is higher, then you would want to see like something quick. And I would assume that this would be like the final move. Here we are building these positions. If that market maker is building positions to crush before that real move up, then it seems like it would make sense that they would do it now, after we build this range for however long, and then smoke them and then make that move. You see it happen so often. But the same token, we've already SFP'd that low. The swing trade back here, we've already SFP'd it. And so, honestly, I would be very cautious personally if we come down for it again. I'm open to it for like a quick one, a quick SFP. But if we spend any amount of time underneath it, I don't know. I would not want to see that. And as far as the indicator is concerned, if we're putting in, I would not want to see it confirming and sticking. Like those swing trades, they can be confirming, right? So the swings are more oftentimes a zone. Like, here's an example, like the swing trades showing up, and some of them will maybe even like be starting to show sooner. You'll see that happen, especially on like low time frames, where you'll see them kind of start to flash, like, but they won't stick. Like, every time you bounce a time frame or go from the 3 to the 1 or whatever, like switch time frames, it'll refresh, and what it will do is it will always be on like the last most recent bar, and then at some point they're going to start sticking, and they're going to stay there, like on the lower time frames. Like, they'll start sticking. I guess that's the best way to put it. But like, you can see that more oftentimes they're a zone. So it's hard to say exactly what I wouldn't want to see as far as the swing trades are concerned. But maybe better yet, what I wouldn't want to see is some thick day trades. Like here we are looking at day trades, and we're looking for that higher low. But what would be a bad sign on the day trades? Let's see if we can get some to show up. Let's try like on bullish to see, do we have anything yet? Actually, I don't think we do. If I remember correctly, we don't. All right, so here would be like a scenario, what I would really not like to see. Let's say we come down, hit the target, maybe come back up for a little bounce, and then start to lose it again into this area. And on the day trades, like if we see something like this, where say we come down and get like a thin bar, okay, say this is a day trade, right? Maybe it should be green, but whatever, you get the point. Say this is a day trade at that level. Nice, clean, crisp, boom, hit it, get out, in the money, like in profit. And then we come back down and lose it again. And we start to see something like more signals like printing, especially if they're getting thicker. Like if I see this, I'm going to be super, super cautious, because that is not a day trade. That is not a divergence. Like that would be a bad sign. Thin and thick, especially if you caught my first stream, thin and then thick typically means that there's more downside. And so that would be a very bad sign to go thin and thick. And then also the same thing on the scalp trades, like to be seeing similar stuff with that. But I would be more so focused on those day trades and the thickness of it, that context going into it. Like if we're printing thick bars before we even get to it, then that would be bad. Or if we come down and hit that SFP and don't get back up and out super quick, like if we kind of play around like above it or at it, like it's hard to say like what the market structure will be here, but like say we came down and put in, all right, let me erase that. Say we came down, put in like another low right here, bounced up, then came down. Like if we're playing in this area, before that next SR flip, and we still have bars printing, like, okay, say the bar starts printing right when we hit the level, boom, take the trade, like it, everything looks okay still, but that bar doesn't release, that's red flag for me. Like if you don't see that release and you see it keep printing thick, typically not what you would want to see. So I hope that answers your question. Stream quality is great. Thank you. Okay. All right, everyone, moving on to XRP. I haven't really done anything on XRP, as you can see by my object tree, but let's go ahead. Let me ask, well, it's kind of important to do analysis on it before formulating an opinion on the indicator, because it's always great to like have a zone in mind. I was going to suggest, like, do you guys want me to do analysis on these, or do you just want me to focus on the indicator alone? Like, what would you guys like to see? And then while I'm waiting for answers to come in, I've noticed that this XRP, I guess this is for Binance. Maybe I think I'm gonna find XRP on Bybit. Binance doesn't have a lot on XRP. That's surprising. XRP. Or does anybody have a suggestion for a better chart to use for XRP? XRP USD. I already, oh, maybe this one. Binance. I'm kind of torn between using Binance and Bybit now because of the KYC regulations on Bybit, like really is going to amplify the volume at Binance, or I would assume. I haven't done any, like, I don't have any validation that that is correct, but it would seem that that would be the case. But look at this, look at this Scamwick. Oh my God. MEXC, no, I would never chart MEXC personally. Like, think that you always, and I think like Jay would agree, and really better traders would agree that you always want to chart on an exchange with the most volume because those are going to be the ones that are most respected, and those are going to be the ones that the best traders are going to be looking at, basing their decisions off of. So we have these. Let's see. We drag these up and see what they look like. So that's XRP USDT. I just don't know if it's better to do this one for Binance, the USDT, USDP for Binance. Or no, that's Bybit. I kind of like this one better. It doesn't have a Scamwick on it. No answers in the chat, so I am going to do this one. Or I'm sorry, this one, Bybit. Okay. And by the way, I do trade on MEXC. I just would never chart on MEXC. Like, I chart on Bybit or Binance, and then make my decisions and take trades on MEXC. But just always like aware that I don't do a lot of limit orders. Like, if I do limit orders, it's for taking profit. But honestly, right now, I mean, you can freaking market everything on MEXC. The fees are so ridiculously low that, I mean, why do you even need to limit order unless you're, I mean, obviously, unless you're like setting take profits, or you want to put in like a trade that you don't want to be there for. But, the fees are so redonkulously low that, I mean, it's practically the same as a limit order. So, all right, we're on the monthly time frame. I am going to go through this quickly so everyone can get back to their day. I actually might. All right, do y'all want me to do XRP or ARB? I'm only going to do one more because I think we've been running it for a long time, and I know people have stuff to do. What do y'all want to see, XRP or ARB? ARB. Shoot, I don't even know how many people we have in here. ARB, okay. I'm honestly more inclined to do ARB as well. I like trading ARB, but one thing I will say is that ARB doesn't have any swing trades on it just because it doesn't have enough data yet, but we can still definitely look at ARB, just looking at the day trades. Anyone else? If not, we're going. All right, ARB it is. Okay, ARB I already have analysis on, so this will be quicker. Yep, ARB, okay. Let me hide time frame, and we are going to go to the monthly. I also want to know, like, if you guys even want me to do analysis. I know there's plenty of analysis out there, like Jay does analysis all the time, and KPAX, and there's just so many avenues for analysis. Like, I don't, I want to I can do my analysis before I jump on stream, and then just go through what I'm looking for rather than doing analysis live on stream. But I definitely would like some feedback from everyone to let me know what y'all would prefer. Look at this nice trade on this weekly right here, like on the dollar. Boom. That's good. And this is a great level to have for sure. The tapped weekly. Yeah, that is a really good level. I would find it very hard to believe that doesn't turn into a trade on the way back up. This also maybe not the worst idea. Yeah. No, I'm gonna keep it off. Dailies. This one I'm gonna keep. This one I'm delete, or this one will go right here rather. That's a nice one. This one will go right here. Good confluence with that weekly, tapped weekly, and then I would. I'm gonna keep this one, this tap daily, this back test for now. But if I don't see any confluence with it, I'll probably delete it. Or even better yet, maybe that. No, I'm just gonna delete them. Okay, we have everything there mapped out. Now we're gonna go to SFPs. Boom, boom. That. Let me get to a lower time frame. For sure, this, lots of stop losses are going to be above that one. This is also good. All these are good. I would also be aware of, let's turn this off. All these stops have already been taken, so everyone that opened trades in here have been stopped out. Real move. I would say that's about it that I can see that I'd be considering for an SFP. Say maybe this one. More small time frame, more local, and then definitely the low. Actually, maybe this too. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, SFPs are done. Volume and ranges. Let's see what we need to change. Also, I will, before I lose the thought, ARB loves to pre-SFP levels. It does it all the time, and it's super frustrating, but it loves to front run SFPs for some reason that I have noticed. Okay, have that one good to go. Maybe let's go devpoc. Maybe here as well, like notice how this downtrend developing point of control happens at the macro point of control. I actually like that, and I'm going to have that marked because, yeah, I mean, I could see a world where a lot of everyone who's long. I could see a world where people who got long in these areas would still be holding on to that trade and desperately be begging to get out of it if we come back up to it. So I am going to have that marked. And I just like that it lines up with the macro point of control. So that's marked. And also definitely going to update the value area low. Let me do something here. Let me go range and drag it out to when that range ended, which is right here. And then that updates it. Boom. There's the true value area low. And then I'm just going to mark out this macro point of control. There's the macro point of control. And I'm going to delete it. And that looks good. I don't see any more volume to be aware of on ARB. So maybe I actually am curious what the macro range will look like. That is interesting. I'm going to mark out the macro value area low as well. And look at this. So the macro point of control also lines up with this mini point of control right here of this little range. So that's also interesting to take note of. Yeah, I'm not gonna mark the value area high because by the time we get back up there, it will have shifted anyways. So, okay, that is done. Fibs. I've got some extensions up here. Probably need to delete those now. Boom, boom. Okay, let's come down here. There we go. Let's take this one for sure. Let's take this one. Let's delete this one. This one needs to be probably higher. It would come from this high. And yeah, right here. Okay, those look good. Let me turn on that 0.5. Probably do the 0.5 on this one as well. Not bad. And that is that. Maybe also just a golden pocket only from here, from that dump. Okay. Moving on to channels. This is something that I actually found earlier. It's in log mode, also the same on non-log, but really interesting trend line down here between these two lows. You know, like if you're looking at this as a channel, you could be. Yeah, definitely something to be aware of, like that trend line down here. So I'm going to put that into the key levels, and now I'm going to turn everything on. Oh man, I don't have hardly anything down here. Oh wait, I don't think I did key levels. I need to do key levels. This will be the last thing. This is, I'm gonna keep those, but Look at that. Look at that SR flip. Boom. That was a beautiful, beautiful SR flip. Definitely that to be aware of. Like if we definitely can come down some more and then come back up and hit it again. But I mean, we've already come down so far. Like you always have to be aware of that we've been coming down a lot, and there's always the chance that we could just get like a quick trade out of it, and that it won't, is it really smart to hold on to that one for a long extended period of time? Probably not, but yeah, so that's what I'm looking at. Oh, also this one is another one to be aware of. Maybe down the road in the future, if we get down under it and come back up, I would be at least aware of this one. So, okay, now that that's done, now let's turn everything on and see if we can find any confluence. Honestly, not a lot. Oh, also this one I want. Yeah, you're gonna stick? Nope. And this will be the last one, guys. Sorry, I know this is running super long, but I'll try to make them faster in the future. Ooh, so I actually do. Okay, now I like this SFP. I was considering it earlier, but now I really like this SFP, to be quite honest. And let's see. Now I'm going to pull a J move, and I'm going to do this. Look at this. So from the dump, the golden pocket lines up perfectly with this SR flip. And right after this SFP, this would be a very, very nice level to look for. So definitely going to keep that one. Let's get a range profile on, I guess all of this. Just like keep it, on the chart. To be aware of, like especially the value areas. But yeah, okay, so let's keep moving. But yeah, confluence, SFP, this could be super nice. I'm gonna do it like that. Do white box. Okay, that's something I'm aware of. Also, this SFP right here as well. Also, definitely aware of this. I would really like that SFP into that trend line. That would be nice. This weekly and this point of control and this daily looks super good right here. I would still be aware of the golden pocket above it. How much is this? Okay, so that's still a pretty shallow move. That's still 1.5%. It's a zone, but definitely more of a zone right there. I would be more inclined, honestly, to be looking at that weekly. I don't love that golden pocket. I guess maybe these highs, you could say, wouldn't be the worst thing, those highs in that golden pocket, but I really like this zone right here. And then I would just be watching. I don't see any confluence at the value area lows, so I would really more or less just be looking at those. Those will update too over time. So as price action develops, those will change. So just going to be aware that they're there and then look to see if they've moved by the time we come back. But yeah, I mean, that's about all I see for ARB. It looks like there's some volume right here too. This is actually kind of interesting because it doesn't look like there would be volume there. Let me see this developing point of control. Look at that. Okay. Ooh, I like that. I like that because it just doesn't stand out. It doesn't stand out, and it could possibly be a nice higher low to like maybe psych people out. Like I would look at this more. Okay. Maybe his two trades might end up just being like a quick move up into that little point of control, but I'm definitely watching that area as well. And I would say that looks like it's it. It looks like the golden pocket has already been hit from here. Yeah, already hit the golden pocket. Yep, that's about it. So let's doing it again. Hot boxes. And then here, here, here. Close that. Okay, so now that that's done, now we're going to look at the indicator, and we're almost done. Going to turn everything off, turn the indicator on, and going to see what we see. So first of all, the first thing to note is that ARB does not have any swing trades, and the reason is because we don't have enough data yet to formulate any bias on. So not enough data yet. It's a new coin, but at a certain point you will start to see swing trades show up, but nothing yet, or at least I don't think. Let's try bullish mode to see, just to make sure. Yeah, nothing yet. So go down to a lower time frame. We're going to make sure the day trades are on. We're in range mode currently, so more of a unbiased look. And let's see what is happening currently. So let's look in bearish mode. And we're going to be looking at bearish runs of price action. I think the real question to be asked is like, is the dump over? That's the real. Oh, I put the swing trades in bearish, not day trades. Yeah, is the dump over? I think is what everyone would be wanting to know. And so let's go back and look at price action and see what it did in the past, and see if we can see any patterns, or see if we see any tells like that would have led us to become bullish in a certain scenario. So, I mean, first thing I always want to be aware of is these, oh crap. There we go. First thing you want to be aware of always is the divergences. So here would be our first divergence area right here. Or I guess technically it would have been, our first one would have been right here, more of like a failed auction. Like when you see this, like the same thing that happened on, I think it was Ethereum that we were talking about, where you come down, you're in that divergence, you would want a quick move out, something very convincing, but I mean, this is anything but convincing right here. And that's like red flag, right? Red flag that you're diverging and not getting a strong move out. Maybe potentially like consider to be taking more profit out of it, I guess, or that's how I would be approaching it. But right here, you can see it gets cleaner. Okay, come down a state of divergence. And here's what I was saying earlier. ARB loves to do these pre-SFPs. Oh man, it's so frustrating. But that's exactly what happened here. Stopped everybody out. Didn't give the SFP traders an opportunity to take a long, and then went. Yeah, it does that. Okay, where's the next bearish move down here, pretty fast move. Don't know what level it was, but what do I immediately take note of is the thickness. So, I mean, you could say, I guess technically from this point to this point, it's a bit of a divergence because thicker, thinner, but it's so far away, you know, you would need to come back up and break through this low for it to actually be valid. So it's so far away. I would be looking at this one, and what I see is thinner and then thicker, which means more downside. And that is ultimately what we get. More downside after, I mean, a good run. Like, don't get me wrong, this was a very good trade. That's 20%. Like, that's absolutely nothing to scoff at. But that's what I'm just saying is like the thin and then thick typically means more downside. So, all right, let's go to the next price or bearish run. Actually, shoot, that was more than 20%. It's probably about 30. Okay, here's a bearish run down here. What do we see? A signal and then more of a failed auction state of divergence down here. And these scenarios, like when you're down here operating in a state of divergence, like you would really want to be asking yourself, what's the level down here? You know, where is it at? Where would be the potential place if it's going to be this type of move, this failed auction into a level? What would that level be? But okay, moving on. This is just pretty messy, honestly. Yeah, just messy, like not good signals for sure. And then what do we see down here? Current day divergence, super easy to spot. Okay, multiple runs of divergence. So very clean divergence, by the way. Like exactly what you want to see. Nice and thick, really thick signal, followed by thin signal, and even better, a non-signal. Like this is bullish. You know, I have no other choice but to say that. Like it's bullish to see that. I mean, I don't get to make the rules and say how bullish, like how far it would go, but I mean, yeah, that's a bullish sign. And then couple that also with our bias. Oh man, look at this. Oh shit. Ooh. Interesting. Okay. Look at that, guys. Check it out. Remember, we had range mode on Bitcoin. Boom, look at that. Range mode turned on. Why did I say that? I said that because we need to be anticipating the bullish swing trade playing out. So yeah, I mean, technically there's no reason to really be out of bearish mode in the day trades, but this is what I was saying. It's like you have intelligence. Let's anticipate it. Maybe we anticipate that we should be looking in a bullish setting to catch this potential move on this divergence of the swing trade. So that is why I was in range mode to try and capture a long trade. And I mean, look at that, man. That is beautiful. So where is it at? Lower time frame, or did it repaint out? No, it doesn't. It's just on the lower time frames. It's visible. Okay, so moving on, we are at Arbitrum, or Arbitrum, however you say it. Yeah, I mean, this is a bullish signal. We have a bullish signals on Ethereum. We have bullish signals on Bitcoin. I mean, you guys do the math. Like, what other conclusion can you draw other than reading what the indicator is saying? Like, all the people right here. Okay, first of all, this as well. This is also divergence. So look at this. How many people were freaking out right? How many people were freaking out right here, saying, "Oh my God, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. It's never going to stop. It's never going to stop dumping." You know, people freaking out, dumping their positions, and then look what happened. Boom. Goodbye. But how would we know? We would know because look, it's diverging. Thick, thick, thin. That is nice. This would have technically been one, okay, to considering. Not much thinner, but okay, you've got that thick and then thin. At this point, you're starting to say, like that was thinner. Might be wise to have a long position and take profit on it for sure, but you know, you would take minimal profit. And if you get stopped out, whatever, you just catch the next one and then take the next one, see that release. Ooh, that's a nice divergence right there. And you do the same thing. Minimal take profit, stop loss to entry. Boom, there you go. Game over. So that would be the smart thing to do. Here's more divergence. Again, boom, right here, diverging. So, I mean, would y'all not agree with me that it's smart to see the divergence and have a bias to the upside? Like, okay, how far? I don't know. Obviously, this was how far for this one. This one ran further, but I mean, what did it run into? Oh, look, it ran into a divergence. Boom. You know, for the ultimate high. Like, why would you not assume that this would do the same thing? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it couldn't. We could come down here, all right? I don't make the rules, but why would you not assume like that is bullish? Just my 2 cents. So, yeah, and then since we don't have swing trades, I'll look at scalp trades as well for ARB. But as far as the setting, yeah, I'm still gonna be, you could really play around with different scenarios. So it's like, okay, for day trades, you could be in bearish. Like, okay, you know, like I said earlier, you always have to like be prepared for anything. You know, who's to say that we won't come up, take these stops into, I think there was a level up here, but say we take all the stops. Everyone who has their trades opened here, stop loss is going to be right here above this high. Who's to say we won't come up and take that and go back down? I don't know. I mean, it could happen. So it would be smart, if that's going to happen, to be considering to look for a day trade in bearish mode. You know, look at this. I mean, look at these. Can't you agree? Wouldn't you agree with me that you would have wanted to catch these trades? Like, damn, those are really nice trades right there. Like, let's see, just a quick 20%. Like, it could keep happening. You never know. So it would be smart to consider looking in bearish mode still for another trade. It's also smart to consider all of the things that we are seeing, like a bullish scenario where this really clean divergence down here, and then you also see divergence on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like, it would also be smart to assume that maybe our other scenario is like, maybe we're going to come back out of here, and we would have wanted to catch this. Like, I mean, honestly, this was the trade right here. This was it. It's already happened on ARB. I mean, look at this. This is oh crap. Here. This is a beautiful, beautiful SFP with divergence. I mean, this is the trade that you hold onto. That's a 4x account trade, 0.3 stop loss. Actually, it's less than that. It's 0.25 if you take it to the low. Yeah, 0.22 to the low. But that's a 4x trade size account, or 4x your account size trade, and hold it. Like, why not? You know, also looks like the golden pocket. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, why not? All the people, Oh man, so this is why it's so great, the indicator. Everyone right down here, boom, signal, everyone takes along. I mean, people are going to be taking it without the indicator anyways, but like if so many people are opening this trade here. Okay, what do? Come down, stop a bunch of them out, come down, stop them out again under bullish divergent settings or under bullish divergence conditions, retake the low. How many people do you think, other than those who would be using the indicator, how many people do you think are going to be hopeful at this point right here? Like, how many people are going to be bullish after this third run? Oh my gosh, I took the long here. I got stopped out. Oh my God, it's coming down again. Oh, this is not good. This is really not good. Oh, boom. Like, I mean, granted, it wasn't like a huge move so far, but I mean, it could be. Like, who's to say that it's not going to continue from here? That's not to say that that would be smart to long here. This is a terrible place to long, but the long was here for this setup at least. But yeah, just a good example of, again, anticipation. You see what you see. Okay, you see this nice divergence. Let's build a bullish case, a bullish scenario by putting it in bullish mode, or at least ranging. Let's see if range caught it. It did. Ranging mode caught it as well. But regardless, I'm going to have it in bullish mode. So while we're coming down, making a bullish case, we catch it. It plays out with divergence. That's a good sign. And then look what Bitcoin's doing. So it came back down. Interesting. Well, yeah, I mean, it's all really going to depend on what Bitcoin, I think, does. But I mean, this looks bullish. So, all right, I'm going to pop into the chat. Love your input. Thank you. I trade a lot of alts, so I personally like seeing someone else's opinion to see how it differs from my own. Okay. TA is great. Different perspectives is always good. I see market makers just went after stops on both sides just now. Which one are you talking about, ARB? Or are you talking about Bitcoin? Looks like Bitcoin maybe is what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know. This looks kind of bullish to me. Like, that was a nice reaction. Like, was it a stop hunt? I don't know. Also something, wait, let's see, hold on. Let's go to look at, I want to look at the scalps real quick too on Bitcoin. Okay, so here's a good example of something that I'm going to make a video about, especially when I start to market this indicator to people outside the group. There's a whole community of people who are just constantly searching for like the holy grail indicator, and people that use like Lux, Algo is a popular one. I don't know, whatever, Market Cipher. I don't know, there's so many of them, right? But there's like a whole community of people just hunting for the holy grail of indicators. And there's going to be people that are talking about what is called repainting. So repainting is like the same thing as Market Cipher, right? So when Market Cipher paints a red dot, it's painted by the crossing of the fast and slow the fast and slow wave trend lines. And at any point in this bar, this dot can show up and go away, and before the bar closes, right? And that is called repainting. So here it's already confirmed, right? That is a confirmed red dot. That will never go away. But while we're in this bar, this 3-minute bar, that could come on and turn off. And it's called repainting. And what it really is it's that the indicator is looking live and saying, okay, now it looks good. Now it doesn't. Okay, well, now it looks good. Okay, but now it doesn't. Like, it flows with the current bar and depending on the price action, and will tell you live, okay, red dot, okay, no red dot, red dot, okay, you know what I'm saying? So it's called repainting. And it would be ideal to not have that, as an indicator, because most of the indicators that repaint are very bad. Like they are just so obvious that they do it so much that it becomes really unreliable to use it. And so that was a big concern whenever I made the indicators. Like I knew that it's a trade-off. So you can't have live data coming in and you can't be interpreting that data live as you hit a level if you're waiting for a bar to confirm. So you can't have both. You have to have an indicator that repaints, that can make those decisions live in order to give you that live feed of data. So yes, this indicator does repaint, and here's a great example of that, is that earlier when I came back to the Bitcoin price, we had a day trade here on the, it was a day trade. Yeah, that's what we were looking at, because I remember I said, yeah, we need to build a bullish case here for Bitcoin, and that it came down and put in a day trade signal. I hadn't changed the time frame, so it was still on there. But whenever I switched the time frame for like the 6 minute or the 1 minute or whatever, and then came back, now we don't see the confirmation there. And there's going to be people that come in and say, "Oh my God, it repaints. You can't rely on it at all. It's a worthless indicator." And that's fine. People are welcome to believe that. But the case that I have seen most often is that whenever, like this scenario right here, where we had a signal on the day trade and then you change time frames and it goes away and looks like it was never there. You would have never known if you weren't watching it live. So here we saw it live and it has painted back out. And it's just something to be aware of that happens, and it will happen more on scalp trades than it will day trades, and more on day trades than it will on swing trades. But I will say that it doesn't happen often, and that I intentionally coded some. How can I say? I intentionally coded into the algorithm some formulas, try not to say too much, but some formulas to minimize the repainting, and it works really well. So you don't see it very often, but just be aware that you can see that happen with this indicator, and you guys just need to be aware of it. So it can happen, but it's important. You have to have it, and if you don't, then honestly, this whole indicator would be worthless, because it would just be giving you late delayed data, and that's not what you want. So let's look and see what bearish mode looks like on range or on scalp trades. Kind of interested. Oh my goodness, look at that. That is just a thing of beauty right there. Look at that. So nice. Okay, so this where it was a day trade. It's just a scalp trade now. And sometimes also you'll see like a day trade like show up like maybe in bullish or like in whatever, like in bearish mode. Say if you saw a day trade here and then it repaints, sometimes it will just be, it will become a day trade on range mode or a day trade in bullish mode. Like you'll see it in that different mode. But yeah, just want to absolutely make you guys aware of that. So, and I'm going to make a video and release it. So on the ARB trade you went over, are you waiting for the 618 to be reclaimed to take the trade? On the ARB trade you went over, are you waiting for the 618 to be reclaimed to take the trade? How would you enter? I'm not looking to enter that right now. The trade has already happened. There were two trades to be had, and it was this, okay. Depending on when you caught it, it was this with the stop below that low. TP1, um, I mean, I might have just, I didn't take this, but I might have just lost that trade. Actually, I take that back. You've still moved up about a 1.5%. If you haven't taken profit by then you're just being greedy at that point. Like, but yeah, so that was the first trade. Stopped out here. Okay. Out of the trade now, unless you held it, if you still had your stop below the low, then maybe you would still be in it at this point, but eventually you get stopped out. Okay. I always think it's better to get stopped out at your entry at break even. But that was the first trade. And then the second trade was here. And the entry was coming back through this low. This is an SFP. SFP, you take the trade coming back through the level and put your stop below the low. But I mean, there's no trade, as far as I'm concerned, there's no trade to be had down here now, unless, I don't know, unless it's like a, oh, is this a, oh man, is that a, it looks like a single print maybe. Maybe. Ooh, it is a single print. So check it out. That's actually interesting right there. Boom, single print. Let's see if that got hit. Look at that, yeah. So that was the trade. This was the next trade to be taken, but I don't see a trade set up right now. That's why it's super important to have these setups. Like, okay, you have the level here. We dipped down through it less than 0.25%, hit it on the way back up. Full account, full paper trade account, I should say, 4x to do 1% risk or however much risk you want to put on that trade. And yeah, that's the setup. So I don't see a long setup right now at a golden pocket, unless you were talking about the old one. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. I do have to hop off and tend to some things. But does anyone have any last questions? I don't even know how many people are in here still. Maybe I hope I'm not talking to an empty room. I don't know. I only see a couple of people in here now, so most people have left. That's okay. But does anyone have any questions before I leave? Going once. Going twice. Anyone? 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 All right. Well, I think that pretty much sums it up. I don't know if anyone's in here still, but oh, okay, Yelena's here. What's up, Yelena? You're a real one. It's been a really long stream, so. In fact, now the main difficulty is to accurately select the indicator mode because bearish settings give more accurate signals than range settings. Is to accurately select the indicator mode. Well, I would say, yeah, I mean, that is a factor for sure, is understanding how to operate it. But I mean, it's gonna be obvious. Like, you're looking, let's turn on scalps, like, just to get an example of when it's obvious. Like, how, I mean, okay, why would I still be in bullish mode right now? Like, why would, at this point right here, we're just gonna look at this. At this point, you don't want to be in bullish mode, especially here. After this, I would have, as soon as we come down here and start printing more bars and lose this low, I mean, first of all, take note, here's a divergence, boom, right here for about 2%. But as soon as we come back down and lose that low and start putting in another signal, and it looks like the same thickness, but I mean, it's obvious to me, I guess, that it shouldn't be in bullish mode there. Like, it's time to change the bias. Okay, range mode still has it. Maybe bearish mode would be the best, like, at least step it down. And then, okay, perfect. Here's a great example of that. Like, bearish mode caught this high, ran out that low. Okay, you start seeing a signal here show in range mode and bullish mode. Is it really that smart to be anticipating that much to come out of this? Whenever you have the short is, the shorts are winning. Like, look how clean these shorts are. Boom, boom, boom. These are clean right there. And when you had it in the correct mode, it caught the very bottom. Like, it caught that single print so perfectly. It just, the market will tell you when you're wrong. Like, it will tell you if you're operating it manually, it should be pretty obvious. Like, let's see if we can, look at this here. So we're in bearish mode. Does it look, it doesn't look like these are working really well, right? So would you really want to be shorting this right here in bearish mode? No, the clue to get out of bearish mode was here. So it was here when they stopped working. At the very least, to go into ranging and then see what you see. Look at that. Look how range, oh my goodness. It's just a thing of beauty, man. So boom, range mode cleaned all these up, caught it perfectly, all the way back down, caught it perfectly. And now it's like, okay, at what point do I need to adapt? Like, right now it's working really great. Okay, right here, now I'm starting to say, ooh, that doesn't look so good. Like, maybe I should be switching again. Maybe I should be looking in more bullish. So, okay, so at this point, right, doesn't look good, back into bullish mode. And so that's why, like, you're going to change the scalps a lot more often. And look at that. Look at how bullish mode absolutely really cleaned up that price action right there in the signal. So let's go back to range mode. So here we are here. Everything in range mode working beautifully. So we take, say if you had a level there, you take the short, take profit 1, okay, and stopped out, and more signals. Okay, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. I'm starting not to like, I'm just telling you like my thoughts live. Okay, I would be saying, I don't really like it, it doesn't look good, time to change right now. I would be changing. Range mode, bullish mode, boom, okay, takes those signals away. Now I'm in the right mode. Now I'm looking, also looking for a level. And then here we go. Okay, now we've got a signal into a level, whatever it was, take the trade, boom, still in bullish mode, no reason to take it out until the market tells me to take it out. Let's see, boom, nah, not a great trade, just a lost trade right there, but okay. Lost trade on this if there was a level there, or a break even if you got your take profit, which you should have into this low. So break even trade down here into a state of divergence. Okay, still not wanting to take it out of bullish mode. It's just showing us that we're in a state of diverging, like a failed auction type state of divergence. And then look what happens. Boom, all the way back out. So, and it caught the low again with divergence, and it caught the very high. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, it's practically cheating. So at what point do we switch from bullish? Right here. Right here you shift. All right, you say you come down here and take this trade. Not the best trade to take, because we pumped so much, but say you took that, you got stopped out, say you took a loss on it, you start seeing more signals show up, especially that they're getting thicker. Okay, definitely change. That looks super bearish to me. I would say maybe even just go straight into bearish mode after that. Like, that looks bad. And then bearish mode cleans it up, and then you're in the proper mode. So, I hope that helps to choose a mode. I understand it is important to choose a mode through a retrospective. See which mode gives the best results in past couple of hours. Yeah, you got it. Perfect. Like, use I always say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The same thing applies. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. What's working best, use that until it breaks, and then switch, and then use that until it breaks, and then switch. Like flow with the market, and also be anticipatory. Like anticipate things that you see, like a really strong divergence. Like, okay, I'm going to anticipate and look for something before the market even tells me to look for it. You know what I'm saying? So, um, thank you very much. Everything's clear. You are very, very welcome. You're good. You're good, bro. Only question. Sure. Um, I mean, you know the answer, man. It's both, and you only share the winner. So that's always the answer to that question. Renee says, I was asking in hindsight, you answered my question perfectly. I would have done the same. Trade the 618, then 2 CDWs. Boom. Loved it. Okay. Yeah, so that's what I've got, guys. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around. I know it was a long one. Open to absolutely to any feedback you guys have. If you would prefer for me to skip the analysis and just go more into the indicators, like reading, I can absolutely do that. That'll make these a lot shorter, but I'm down for either. I just want to know what will suit most people, like what most people want to see. So y'all let me know in the chat. I'll see everyone back in the Discord. I'm going to take a break for a while, but thank you guys for sticking around. See ya.